Good evening, pipe people. Kevin here, Conicus Rex. Smoking some HH Bowl Kentucky in a Seminole 320. With an unusual midweek video, which is a VR to Michael David of Whiteford Handmade Pipes on the occasion of his 100 sub giveaway. When I last checked, he was well past 150 subs, so doing well. Now, I don't normally partake of these kind of VRs, but his questions were difficult. Well, difficult for me anyway. And the prize, a pipe handmade by him to a shape to be agreed between the winner and himself after the contest ends, I consider a particularly generous gift of time and expertise, and a gift, and indeed a channel, worth supporting. So if you haven't come across Michael so far, poodle over and have a look. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, the entry requires the answers to 5 questions, which I've written down because I found them quite difficult to remember, let alone answer. Favourite pipe shape? Let's try that again. Favourite pipe shape and why? Well, this is my favourite pipe shape. The 320 Author, Scott Tomato, whatever you want to call it. Why? It's meaty, fills the hand, the walls are good and thick, and in most cases there's a decent sized bowl. I've got maybe 3 similar shapes, the Seminole and a couple of others, which don't get smoked anywhere near as often as the Seminole, but I would say this is most definitely my favourite shape. I like the slight curve, I like the weight, and as I said, just the general feel in the hand. Indeed, this is my favourite pipe. Conversely, he then wants to know what is our least favourite pipe shape and why. And strangely enough, I think my least favourite pipe shape is a variation on this. The sea urchin. It looks quite similar in shape, but he's got these bobbles all over it, which looks so uncomfortable. And to my mind, it's also but ugly. So, no, my favourite pipe would never be a sea urchin. Third question was our favourite factory manufacturer. I probably have more Petersons than any other factory brand, because that's what I found when I first started out. I've got lots of little 314s, are they? But my favourite factory brand has to be Seminole. I have 4, I believe, including a church warden and a poker. They are consistent, good value, fairly classical, and I'm a fairly classical kind of guy. my favourite artisan pipe maker. Now that is very much more difficult because I've only sampled pipes from 4 makers I would consider to be artisan pipe makers. And one of my favourite pipes of all time comes from a gentleman called Tom Phillips here in the UK, who makes pipes periodically, pretty much to order these days, but not as a regular manufacturer. The pipes he produces are excellent, fit my descriptions and requirements very well. They tend to be reasonably classical, with a bit of a twist here and there, but fairly chunky and beautifully finished. Tom is nothing else, a perfectionist. However, on the grounds that he isn't a consistent maker, and indeed may not be making currently, I'm going to go for Rick Black. I've bought 2 Rick Black pipes over the years, a mortar and a poker, and I've been really pleased with both. I probably don't smoke the mortar as often as I might, but it gets out in at least once a month. The poker is probably once a week. Consistently good engineering, well put together, a little bit different, a little bit non-classical, and reasonably priced, even with the delivery charges and the customs hit coming to the UK. They still came in at a reasonable price. So yeah, I'd go with Rick. And if any of you want to try that kind of experience, I'd recommend him, especially if you're in the States and you don't have to worry about international postage, customs duties. And the final question was the one that I've spent some time thinking about. If you could own any pipe, what would it be? A little voice in the back of my head, which I think is probably my wife's, tells me I don't need any more pipes, so I shouldn't even be considering the answer to this question. But having thought it through, logic tells me that us pipe smokers always want what we haven't got, and occasionally want more of what we have got. So I've been considering what I haven't got that I might want, and a few things came to mind. I quite like the pipes with a Dunhill, with a bamboo stem, but I'm not sure how practical they are, and they're not top of my list. I've always fancied a spigot pipe, and if I was going to have a spigot pipe, not necessarily any particular brand, I think I'd want a fairly classic front end shape, maybe a bulldog. Despite my previously admitted preferences for a bent pipe, I do have a number of straight pipes, including several bulldogs, and I do like the bulldog shape. It's a classic, timeless shape. So there you have it. Choice of pipe would be a spigot bulldog. And I think that's it. So I'd like to say thank you to Michael for running the contest and being so brave with the choice of prize. I don't know, Michael, if this is your main source of income, but if it is, to give away a chunk of that income is particularly generous. If it's a semi-professional hobby, you're still giving of time and creative energy, and the giveaways I've done in the past have been relatively simple affairs where I've chosen the prize, bought the prize, given it away. And the only part of me that goes into that is the consideration of what the terms and conditions might be and the drawing of the recipient, the winner. Now, of course, tootle off to the post office and sending it off, but not exactly the same kind of effort that you're planning to put into this, young man. So, like I said, for those of you that hadn't found his channel yet, Whiteford Handmade Pipes, go and check him out. You won't be sorry. And now, rather than ruin the rest of your evening, I'm going to get off and finish my pipe. Stay happy, chaps, chapesses, everybody.